Planning is not preparation. Planning asks, what will I do? It organizes, sequences, and anticipates. It projects into the future. It's comfortable. It stays in the mind. Planning requires no significant physical effort, no discomfort, no encounter with failure. The planner can remain in the safety of intention indefinitely. Preparation asks, am I ready to do it now? It positions, equips, and commits. It lives in the present. It requires crossing a threshold. The prepared person is already in motion. The gap between planning and preparation is where every intention that never became a reality has stalled. Hey there, it's me, Core, and you're listening to Exercising Consistency, from fitness to flourishing. The illusion of readiness. Planning creates the feeling of progress without producing it. The brain releases dopamine when you make a plan. You feel as though you're moving forward, but you have not moved. The person who plans the perfect workout has not exercised. The person who researches the ideal routine has not started. The person who maps out the entire week of training on Sunday has not yet completed a single rep. You might feel ready, but you're still not prepared. The difference is revealed when action is necessary. What preparation actually requires. Preparation doesn't require the perfect plan. It's about having the minimum conditions met for action. The smallest version of readiness that still counts as readiness. The person who has their shoes on is prepared to walk. The person who has their mat out is prepared to stretch. The person who has opened the document is prepared to write. You don't need to know everything required. Instead, you must be willing to start with what you have. The athlete who shows up to training with only a vague plan for the session is still prepared. They've crossed the threshold. The athlete who has the perfect plan written but never enters the gym is not prepared. They are still planning. The absolute minimum viable plan. The body does not plan to digest food. It prepares enzymes, stomach acid, and peristalsis, and then it acts. The gap between preparation and execution is zero, but this is not conscious action. Millions of years of evolution have hardwired that sequence directly into the physiology. For conscious human tasks, the speed comes from the absolute minimum viable plan. To move from an idea to preparation, approaching the speed of a biological reflex, you need answers to just two simple constraints. First, the trigger, a specific time, location, or event that signals action. For example, when I stand up from my desk. Second, the first resource, the single object required to start. For example, I put on my shoes. Once those two constraints are set, you have a plan. You can then shift into preparation much more quickly. Perhaps not as quickly as biological reflex, but much faster than before. The only real readiness is doing. Planning imagines a future. Preparation creates a present. The moment you meet the minimum conditions for action, you are no longer a person who merely intends. You are a person who begins. That shift changes your trajectory. The gap between who you are and who you want to be is crossed in the first step, not the perfect plan. Reduce the plan until the first step is simple, obvious, and directly gets you moving. The only real readiness is doing. To put this practice in place, and turn it from an idea into a lived experience, start your day one inside the ACT Score Challenge. That's it for today. Catch you next time.